Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming through. You know what time it is. It's time to get some of the most amazing people on board with fire. I'm telling you, the next guest, guys, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I don't know. It must be God's grace. So, Simone is someone that I met in primary school, actually. Might have even been the first grade. I think so. And she's got such an amazing story. Now, I want to just jump straight to her. Now, I haven't seen Simone since, I think, high school. I might have seen, I think we went to the same high school. I'm not so clear. But I know that since high school, maybe the end of primary school, I haven't seen Simone ever since. And I've actually had her on Facebook. I remember, I don't know if I invited her or whatever, but we've been friends on Facebook for a long time. Never interacted. Just maybe a happy birthday or something, but maybe not even that. And I saw one day she was looking amazing. I mean, yay! And I couldn't believe it. It was shocking, absolutely shocking, because that was not the Simone that I saw in primary school, let alone high school. And so when I saw that, I was like, dang, she's looking fly. And even now, she's maintained, and even just she's looking better and better every time. And she's got an amazing story by how she actually came to look so good. And it's not like some secret treatment or spell. It's really her dedication to fitness, and I love fitness too. So I can't wait for Simone to bless you guys with her story, the testimony of how she made the most amazing transformation, guys. Hey guys, I'm not talking about change, I'm talking about transformation. And so for the young guys and girls out there, I want you guys to see that, hey, you guys just need to get plugged in with the right people. And Simone is definitely gonna shed some light as to what's possible. Because let me tell you something, when I saw Simone on Facebook and I saw her pictures, I don't know, I think I was just staring at them for a while, because, and not like, hey, not like that, hey, come guys, not like that. I'm just saying, I was like staring because I just, the kind of, what I knew Simone to be, to what we saw on Facebook, was just, it was like 5 different people, seriously. And so I'm just waiting for Simone to come through. And because actually I haven't spoken to Simone like ever since I sent her an invite saying, hey Simone, I'm doing these podcasts and I was hoping you could come through. And she was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, because I never, what can I say? I don't have like a relationship with her like that, you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't seen her since primary school, so it's like, didn't really expect her to be so keen about it. So I think she's jumping onto Facebook, because I had to send her the link on Facebook, but I realized I should have just sent it on WhatsApp. And so, I was a little bit shocked by how enthusiastic she was to, agreeing to share her experience with how she's made this transformation. And I actually want to ask her some questions, because I actually just came from a workout session right now, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I was thinking about her. I was thinking, what hey, there we go, everybody. Simone, yo,
It's been too long, hey?
it's been forever. Oh my gosh. Awesome, awesome. How you been, Simone?
I've been amazing.
Awesome.
I've been awesome. How have you been? Listen, how did you end up in Taiwan? What happened there? I mean, that's great.
Yeah, so I was actually initially when I left South Africa, I went to China, and I really enjoyed how amazing Chinese people treated me. That was like unbelievable. The
Yeah.
kindness, just unbelievably kind and welcoming. And so when I left China, I went to Bangkok to work there for a couple of months, and
Yeah.
then I came back to SA just for a little while, and
Yeah.
I tried to work in Russia. It wasn't as successful as I hoped. I wasn't as
Sure.
successful as I hoped, and so I thought, you know what, let me just try Taiwan because Chinese people are living here, and
It's
so I
amazing.
just yeah, it just came through.
And in terms of the language barrier, like, have you figured it out, or have you, do you just go along with things, or have you like learned the language actually?
Not well enough, to be honest. Even though I've spent a lot of time, I know like a few phrases and I can understand mostly what people are saying, but I can't really always speak back to them.
Yeah.
But then they're very how can I say, tolerant in terms of if you use a translator. Sometimes I use a translator to communicate, or sometimes I try and figure it out. And yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, well, as long as it works for you, then if you're there and you can live there and handle it, then I guess it works. So
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So are you living in Joburg?
I'm in Thunderbell Park at the moment.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
we are en route New Zealand, so we're gonna be there soon.
Ooh.
But I actually moved here just 2 years after we finished matric, so 2008.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I moved here because I studied at Northwest University.
How was
Um,
that?
yeah, it's just crazy like how life has happened since that point. Because I started a BCom degree in 2008, and in April that year, that's when I had a really bad car accident. So I actually, a few years after matric, I didn't know what to do. So you first start working and you do little jobs and like working at a pharmacy, and you're doing whatever you can just to look after yourself. But eventually, I thought, okay, well, I've got to do something with my life. And so I got into university at that point and had that car accident in April. So I don't remember the car accident at all. I was unconscious at that point, and they rushed me to hospital, and I was in a coma for 2 weeks. So I woke up after 2 weeks, and I had severe brain damage, and that was out of all the injuries with that accident, my brain was the absolute worst. So I broken ribs, arm, foot, you name it, but I hit the frontal lobe and the back of my head. So the frontal lobe is a part of your brain that is used for memory and concentration. And sorry, my camera might be making weird things now. Chris, I think,
Okay.
sorry, I don't know what happened there. I
No
am
stress.
really, really sorry, but I think it's actually better because the light is not behind me, which is actually weird, because I think that was a problem here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Should we like start that again? Because I'm a bit like, I was a bit out of it, just basics,
Well,
basically.
you were telling us
Oh, wait.
about the frontal lobe being the memory
Yeah.
storage.
Okay. So with that being damaged, of course, it was a major hit to my brain. So I couldn't exactly remember people. Slightly here and there, apparently, like when I woke up, I would remember a bit of my family and friends, but a lot of life I don't remember at all. And I think it's it comes back in stages, as life goes on. But of course, when you're growing up, you have these big dreams and these ambitions of what you want to be and who you want to be. But I think life and God has oftentimes a whole different vision for us, and sometimes things need to happen for us to realize our own way and our own goals for ourselves is sometimes not necessarily the right path. And I think that's what happened for me at that time. And so after hospital, I was in hospital for 2 or 3 months, as far as I remember. I think 3 months. And I was then moved to rehabilitation, and that's where you learn to walk and talk and write again. I mean, I was literally like a baby after that point. And you had to write and learn to swim again and draw. And like I remember, like in a lot of the classes, they would put like these little cars in different, like these plastic little cars, and on like it's almost like a Lego board, and you would have to move these cars and move them into. It's just an example of how simple my brain was at that time, how damaged it was at that time, because they had to use simple things to kind of get you from from that stage to who you were again. And although it's not really possible, they needed to get you somewhere with something, and so it's like they use puzzles and all sorts of things to you literally have to grow up again. That's how it feels after having brain damage, and I think there's one girl that I met in rehab that I will never ever forget, and it was a little girl, and her age was 9, I remember, and she was still on a tracheotomy, so she's still breathing through a pipe, and she literally couldn't walk on her own yet. So they were trying to teach her how to walk, right? And they they had her on a bed that they had to kind of bring up for her to, because she couldn't get off the bed, so they had to try and like get her up and stuff, and from there she tries to walk again. And I remember this little girl, 9 years old, never giving up, never ever ever, not once did she give up and say, I'm going to throw in the towel and not do this, because she had all the right to. I mean, after being in such a bad car accident, to kind of like come out of that and convince yourself that you can walk is a really tough thing to get through your brain. And I believe that I left before her, but I believe she must have made it, because I think the mind is a very, very strong thing. And if you push yourself far enough, you can do anything you put your mind to. And it's because of that little girl that I believe anyone is capable of anything. And she is the reason why I made it out of there. Because you can go into rehab and think, I'm not gonna make this. I'm not gonna walk again. I'm not gonna swim again, and I'm not gonna think right again, or I'm not gonna do maths again, or whatever the case is. But the point why you're there, the point is that you learn to believe that this is possible, and to convince your brain that this is possible for me, even if the mind muscle memory is not there yet, that you can really put that aside and think, if I focus on this long enough and believe in this long enough, that it's going to work. That's why you're in rehab, So my life has been quite remarkable since then, because I try to go back to university about a year or two later. But the problem with brain damage is that it not only impacts your, your concentration with things, and learning abilities and all sorts of things, but also what the brain damage did for me is that it really changed my personality. So, and what I'm interested in. So I got back to university and tried to do BCom degree, and it just wasn't me. Hey, Chris, it just wasn't me. And I really struggled to concentrate, and I really did. I mean, I struggled with most things in terms of that. And let's not even talk about the maths and the accounting and all that stuff. I mean, that was literally like just crazy. So it was just wild for me. So eventually I gave that up. But in that time, just to kind of quicken things up a bit now, in that time I quit university. I tried to do some small odd courses here and there. I just wasn't interested in anything. And along the way, I'd met my husband, and we got married a year later. At that point, the road accident fund paid out, so I could buy a house, I could buy a car. And after I had Caleb, after we had the baby, I weighed 104 kilograms.
Ooh.
104 Ks. I mean, that for me was like, I've been, as you know, I mean, if you remember from school, I'd been like extremely overweight. Well, maybe not in school. I mean, but I was chubby. I wasn't necessarily the smallest girl there. But I think once you hit over 100 Ks, I think life starts to knock at you and say, hey, what the hell are you doing with your time and your life and, your body? I mean, this is ridiculous. And I think that was a real wake-up call for me. So after that, I contacted someone online who helped me a bit with training and eating and stuff. And I have lost 46 Ks since then, which took me quite a while, but eventually I lost it. And I think when you first see those little Ks going off, and then you see the 10K, and then you see the 20K, and then you think, oh my word, like this is actually possible. I can actually do this. And 46 Ks down the line, I know almost everything about food and eating, and I know everything about training. And I thought to myself, and I said to my husband, this is it. This is what I've been meant to do all along. I'm meant to do personal training. I want to be a PT, and we then studied personal training, and I finished that after a year or so, and it was really fun for me, and I've been doing that ever since. And I now have the opportunity to train. I was in and out of gyms. I train people at gyms as well, and I really enjoyed that. But what I'm doing now is I'm doing online training. So a few years ago, I opened my company. It's Sulitz. It's online personal training. And the nice thing about that is that I get to coach many different people from around the world. So I have clients in many different countries, and I'm really blessed like that. And of course, it lets like everyone's story. My personal training didn't start with a sporty background, or it didn't start with being, the thinnest girl in school. It didn't start there. It started from a car accident that left my brain damaged. I couldn't go back to university. I was 104 kilos, and there I made it through. And I think we need more people like that out there, like out here nowadays, because PTs who have been through the motion and have lost the weight or built the muscle or, had that lifestyle is so rare nowadays. I mean, to, get someone to say, hey, I've been through that before. I know what you're feeling, and I know how to lose the weight, and let's do it together. That's rare to find. I mean, that's very, very rare to find. And I mean, that's why I'm so thankful that I've been through and climbed those mountains, so that I'm a PT that kind of looks at a client saying, that mountain you're climbing, I've done that. I've been there, and let me help you. And that's what makes all the difference in the world. So now I get to coach people and do what I think I've been meant to do all along, you know. And sometimes I think to myself, like, we think we all thinking we're going to wait for this breakthrough in life. We all want this degree or this massive thing to happen to us, and it's so easy to live a life waiting for that. But that breakthrough was in that barrier. That breakthrough was in that bump in the road. But because you're seeing a glass half empty, that's the problem. Your glass was filled at that point. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do with, you know, when life throws a rock at you? Like most people nowadays look at life thinking, oh my gosh, like, how could this person do this? Or how could life throw a rock at me like this and poor me, and feel sorry for ourselves? But what if that was your breakthrough? That was the barrier, that is what you're waiting for. And I think many people misinterpret life because it is about taking those really bad times and those really tough times and making the most of that, not thinking that this is where I go downhill in life. But what am I going to do about it? How is this specific situation going to make me a better person? And that's what I think from the time I had my accident, I think I've, you know, by God's grace, yes, I've made it through. But, you know, having a very strong mind and believing that this is possible to overcome, from brain damage to weight loss, and, you know, to continue on that forever in life. Like, to have that mindset is so important, because as soon as you lose that, you just feel sorry for yourself, and you just, you know, take a back seat and think, you know, life's going to just be bad all the time, and that's how you have to accept it. But why are we not making the most of, you know, of those really bad times and those tough times? Because that's where the change happens. You know, I think we want life too easy, and that's not where things happen. That's not where the miracle happens. That the miracle happens in those times that you think you shouldn't have, because we have those tendencies, right, to think like, I deserve better, or I need more, or, like, you know, or I don't deserve this in my life, or whatever, or this is too much for me. No, it's actually the best thing that could have happened to you. Best thing. What the hell are you going to do about it? Like, do you know what I mean? It's exactly like that.
Wow, that's powerful, Simone. That's, you know, wow, I didn't see that coming. That was quite intense. I really didn't see that coming. I didn't know you went through so much.
Yeah, you know, I mean, most people wouldn't, obviously, but I think, you know, you can grow up being like the fat, ugly chick in school, thinking like that's how you're going to stay. Like, or, you know, are you going to make the most of your life? And of course, like I said, like, it's not about us in a way. Like, it's not, you know, we make the most of life by inspiring other people. And how do we, Chris, how do we inspire other people if we just sit back and think, well, too bad, you know, I've went through that and it's just too bad, or, you know, life is what it is, and, you know, if it's crap, it's crap, and I'm just going to accept it. Like, no, you know, like, you want better for yourself, and you want better so that others can see that it's possible to overcome things, you know. um so I think I'm very blessed to have gone through every single thing, and I'm very blessed to be alive, first of all, and to have the opportunity to be here, and of course to inspire others as well. You know, for me to get clients overseas saying, "Oh my word, Sim, like, I heard you went through this and this and this, and I heard you lost so much weight, and I heard, you know, whatever it is, can you help me?" Like, I want to hear that all the time. Can you help me? Yes, I will help you, you know, and, like, my whole life I will continue to be to want to do that for others and want to be an inspiration for other people. You know, I think that's the biggest thing for me. And if I'm not living that kind of life, I'm not happy. You know, it's not about making a big name for myself. It's not about me. It's about that each person I meet, that there's a little flame in them that I spark, and the more lives we can save, the better. You know.
Mm. Oh, that's really precious, Simone. You have a very beautiful soul. It's quite amazing.
I hope so. I feel
Definitely.
like a
No, no, no. Definitely. Like, I was actually telling the listeners that you made quite an amazing transformation. I think I got you, or I sent you. I don't know who sent who an invite on Facebook, but that was like the last time I sort of saw you from high school. And when I saw you on, I thought you were someone else. Like
like who?
I thought you were some model, like like how do I know this chick? Like, what happened? Like, because seriously, like,
Yeah, the kids grow up. So
yeah, you
yeah,
look amazing. Seriously, like you made an incredible transformation.
I really, really do appreciate. Um, it's been a remarkable journey, but I must say, bodybuilding is my life. Eh? Like I will, I'm so passionate about it, and I think that's what I'm trying to teach my girls as well. Like muscle is everything. Like build that muscle, man. You will you will lose weight and be fantastic. So I'm very, very passionate about it, and it's been amazing to do it.
So wow. So okay. So how long have you been like actually bodybuilding? Because in the beginning, were you when you were losing weight, were you bodybuilding or were you like maybe just
No, because I actually wasn't. I was
yeah.
actually I was just losing. I can't say I was built muscle because I needed to lose weight. So at that point, I'd read a lot about weight training.
Mm,
Um, you know, helping to lose weight. So it does work like that. So I lifted weights more than I did cardio.
for sure.
And that's how I lost majority of the weight. So, but I wasn't necessarily bodybuilding in a sense. I wasn't supplementing at that time or anything. I was really keen. So um, I just put in the work and I lifted weights. But eventually, when I got into working at Virgin Active and working around, eventually I thought, okay, well, maybe like really let's get into it a bit more and see, how what I can do. And that's where I built a lot of muscle um, and I even slowed down on cardio a lot more, which is not the greatest thing to do, but um, yeah, and I haven't stopped since. So it's been awesome to do that. I mean, now it's a lifestyle, and it's a really nice place to be. Because now I know that with building muscle constantly, like my body is now in such a routine that I don't have to worry about putting on that weight again because the muscle is what keeps it off. And it's like Spanx. It's like it really like holds you together, and it's a miracle. Muscle
That's
is the
really
way to go.
cool. I
Yes,
believe that. I believe that. I think a lot of people get like sucked into the idea that you must just like focus on cardio exclusively, and like the
yeah,
more cardio you do, the more you lose the weight. And
and that's true. And that's why most people give up, right?
mm.
Because cardio sucks. I mean, no one wants to be doing
Yeah,
cardio every day. I mean, there's so many other ways around this to like going to gym and doing cardio every day, and I mean, there's so many other options to lose that weight, not just on a treadmill, you know.
So would you say weight training or resistance training is more effective than cardio, or
Yes,
mm,
absolutely. Definitely. And
mm,
it raises your metabolism permanently. So you're burning calories even while you're resting. So let's say this is the muscle, and you've trained this muscle for 45 minutes to an hour. This muscle is red hot through your entire day. You don't get that with cardio. This is cardio for an hour. By an hour later, like there's nothing left. Your muscles are cold again, you know. But the resistance training, it's you're working that muscle and it's red hot throughout your day. So even when you're resting at night, that muscle is working. So what is it doing? Um, it's almost like exercising while you're sleeping. So even you, like I say, burning calories at rest. So and that's why I'm so keen to tell other women that don't be scared of it. Like you think you're gonna like put on muscle and look like a man. You do not produce enough testosterone to look like men. That's the difference. Um, for me to get as big as I am, I've had to juice a bit, and I've had to do this and take this and take this. Um, but if I didn't do that previously, I would not have been this big. So it just differs from woman to woman. If you want, I mean, you know, for some women, if it's their preference to get bigger, then whatever they want to do, they can do. But I must say, for a woman who just wants to lose weight, if you're not supplementing I mean, if you're not gearing up, I mean, if you're not taking gear and you are just doing a nice high protein diet and you are gymming once a day and you're doing weight training, that weight will fall off, man. Absolutely. You can do cardio 3 times a week or twice a week and majority weight training, and you will lose that weight faster than you think you will, because it's a miracle. I mean, why wouldn't any woman want that? You know, it's like it really. I've seen with my clients as well. I say to my ladies, just give me 6 weeks with you, just with weight training. I'm not even going to give you cardio, just with weight training, and I'll show you what it can do. And you'll see them lose what, like 8Ks, whatever, in a few weeks. And it's like just a bit of focus on that made a huge difference in their lives. And sometimes it's the one thing we think that's not going to work that works tremendously well. So, and it's the secret to weight loss. And I think to, a happier with men and women, happier people like that, being a happier person. I mean, weight training is amazing for that. So yeah,
wow, okay. Um, you know, I I train myself too. I also train.
yeah,
I used to train like I would say much more proper when I was in China. Now I kind of do calisthenics because I don't really like the way the gyms work here. It's like very strange for me.
like
Just thinking,
explain what way? Explain a bit. So
like,
okay,
so there's this gym franchise called World Gym, and it's like you find them everywhere. The 24,
yeah,
I think they run for 24 hours, which I really like. But when I went to World Gym to try and get a membership, the guy was telling me, okay, yeah, I'm going to show you around. And I'm thinking, I don't really care about that. I'll look around myself. I just really want to just get a membership. No, 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 I'll show you around. Okay, so he showed me around, and it's very, very nice gym, very exclusive, it's very big gym. I prefer smaller gyms just so that I can save time, but this was a really, really big gym. And so then after the tour, he says to me, okay, so if you want to sign up, you have to pay a service fee, then you have to pay an entrance fee, and then you have to pay the membership fee. And I thought, what's going on here? It makes no sense. It really, really makes no
I don't
sense.
know. Not to say. Sorry.
Oh, it just feels like a scam. It's like, hey, I'm here to work out. I'm not here to, scam.
Exactly. But they will milk you as much as they possibly can. So, yeah.
Yes. So I've just been training like calisthenic style,
Mm.
as like supplement. It's not really what I want to do, although I'm enjoying it. But in terms of calisthenics, have you done anything like that?
You know what? I haven't, hey? And you know why? I'm just not, yeah, it's just not me. Like,
Yeah.
actually had someone say to me yesterday, won't you help with like aerobics or something? I'm like, no, like, that's not what I do at all. It's
Yeah.
completely different stuff. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
think
so,
when you found your passion and you found exactly what you want to do, um, I think you focus on that. Do you know what I mean? I think if your
yeah,
mind is like in too many, I mean, the fitness world is just crazy. It's huge.
it
And I
is.
think your options of what you can do, you're not limited to anything. But yet that's what makes you a really good personal trainer is if you've mastered something and you're not like everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's what makes it extremely special. So yes, like I think there is a difference with like pre and postnatal training. Like I can do that with pregnant women, um,
Oh,
and that's a different story. But I mean, when it comes to various types of training, it's a different story. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just yeah, stick to what you're good to and keep it there.
so so
So
so how much can you bench?
don't bench. Can I tell you why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because and I know many women will probably disagree with me, but I don't believe it's necessary for a woman to train chest. I don't need pecs.
Yeah, me too.
And when I train my triceps and shoulders, I'm training so much of my frontal anyway. So why would
Yeah.
I want to specifically target my pecs? I don't
Yeah,
need
it's more
pecs.
it's more manly.
I
It's
need
more manly.
arms and I need legs. There's so many other things that I can focus on that
Exactly.
that I can like really focus on other parts of my body that just need the work. But yet I
Yeah.
don't want to spend an hour on my pics if I don't need them. Do you know what I mean? It's like
No, it
that's why
makes
when I'm
sense.
with girls, even with my online programs, like
Mm.
you'll never see me give a woman a chest workout ever. Ever.
I'm so
Not
glad
even
to hear that.
maybe some like bit of chest press to warm up a bit or whatever, but that's as far as it goes, man. My chest exercises are for my men, and that's where it stays. Like I'm not keen on making women as like more manly than they need to be. So
Uh,
it's like
I'm really
like
happy to
let's
hear that.
are you happy to yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's so many times I'll walk into a gym and I'll see a woman on a pec deck or a chest press or something, and I'm like, do you understand what you're working and why? And I think so many people just walk into the gym thinking, I'm just going to choose a machine and do
Mm.
it, and not really understand, what exactly they're training. And that's why getting a personal trainer is actually so ideal because we really understand what these machines do for you um and what you should be training and not,
Mm.
and what's beneficial for you. So yeah, so in terms of benching, let's not go there. But we can
Okay.
talk about it later, because that's a whole different story. Um,
So
but yeah,
so you work
I
arms. You say you work arms, right? So can you flex for me? I want to see your bicep.
that's something you can't really see them.
Ooh, wow, you strong.
Yeah, kind of. Not really, but kind of. Um,
Oh,
but sorry, I just got like a bunch of messages, but I'll just have to swipe them through here.
okay.
Okay, good. Um,
Wow, that's amazing.
you better not put that on video. That's so embarrassing. Uh,
It's already it's already on video. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Everybody can see that. Wow, like you really are what you're talking about. Like you really do lift. So I think that's cool.
But I think also that's part of being a trainer as well. Like, I mean, you have to show, you have to have something to show for it. Like you're not
Yeah,
just, yeah.
because I've
But I
seen
think
I've seen I've seen trainers that just are out of shape, and it just didn't make sense to me. Like,
it's not ideal. It's really embarrassing actually. It's not a nice thing to see. Um, but and I always say to people like choose someone who you like. Well, I shouldn't actually say that. I should say, because oftentimes I think to myself like, don't choose someone that's like, when it comes to choosing a trainer, don't choose someone that you think is going to give you a easy path to results, because that's what a lot of people do. They want to choose a trainer that looks cute, and like and fairly no. Choose that bodybuilder up there. Like choose the guy, or choose the lady with muscles or something. Like those are the kinds of people, because those are the kind of people that have something to show for what they do. Now, if they're giving that to themselves, they're going to give triple to you. So that's what makes the one trainer different from the other. Um, Not to say that like other trainers are bad, but I think it shows a lot of dedication. What a trainer does for themselves, um, and that gets passed on to their clients. And I think like that's what I wanted my whole story to be about. Like it's just like it's not just. I want the clients to know that what you go through in life, anything, that it can be overcome. And it's not just about weight loss, it's about, or muscle building. Say to my guys, those who are building muscle, it's not just about the muscle. It's about who are you becoming? Who are you becoming in that process of building that muscle? And who are you becoming in that process of losing weight? So, you know, a lot of my girls will say to me, they're so much happier and they're so much more patient, and they more positive and happier, and have a better understanding of food, and they're more like they have more patience with their kids. And so there's so much more with weight loss and bodybuilding. Like you learn to love, and you know you have virtue, you gain virtues through becoming healthier, that you never ever had before. And I think that's why a lot of people take getting healthy for granted, because I mean it's I don't think they know exactly what is in all that. Like it's not just about losing the weight. You gain your whole life. Like you lose it all and you gain your whole life. You know, and that's what people should remember. It's not just about the end result. It's about that journey in between. That's what makes it all worth it, right? And I think people need to really like keep reminding themselves in that process. Like, yes, I'm losing the weight now, or I'm building muscle now, but who am I becoming? Who am I becoming now? Like in this, and that's the most important thing. You know. So
wow,
yeah.
like what I'm getting from you is that the reason why you've made such an impact in so many of your clients' lives is because I can see you full of grace. You're full of God's grace, and I think that's what's special. I think that's what the world needs more and more.
I must say though, like I think once people see this as well, I'm a very, very strict coach. Like I'm trying to cool it down a bit, but I really am. I take no shit because I know exactly what you're going through. I've been there. I've done that. And you can't say no to a cookie, and it's like it makes me it just um I guess in some way I have an understanding with my clients, and I must say, like in a lot of ways and in most ways, like I really do have great connection with everyone I train. But I must say there have been a lot of times where I've hit heads with people, hey, because I'm really strict. And maybe I should stop that a bit. And I understand that there's some in some cases it's not great, but you can understand, like, you know, you want this and you've asked me to help you, and it's like it's and I think that makes me so terrible in a lot of ways that I'm that strict, but I think people need that in a lot of ways as well, like a trainer that doesn't take shit. And
Yeah.
I am that girl. I'm the girl that will tell you exactly what I think, because I've been there. I've cried myself to sleep because I can't eat. Many years ago I did that, and because I couldn't say no to something, or I wanted to say no to something, or whatever. And I know exactly what every single person goes through. So it's a whole different game for me, And um, in some way, I think I'm a bit too strict like that. But I think, um, yeah, I must say, like, I think it's a beautiful journey and a beautiful thing when a client does catch that, and they understand that, hey, they do need to put in the effort, and someone has done this before me, and I can do it as well. So that's the whole point in this. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I can relate. Like when I teach my students, like sometimes I just want the best for them, and I know that without volume, without repetition, you're not really gonna see the kind of results that
Yeah.
you want to see. And
Yeah.
so I don't really want to waste people's time. So I kind of I can relate to what you're saying. And like for young people, is it possible for young people to get into shape, or is it like not really a good idea for young people to go to the gym? I heard like they shouldn't be lifting weights. I don't know if this is true.
Well, it depends how young you mean by young. Like, I mean, it's
Like let's
a
say teenagers.
yeah, no, but then yes, absolutely. I mean, you can totally get your teenager in there, but of course, having them monitored by someone is what's really, really important. You can't just dump your teenager into a gym and expect them to, get healthy and lose weight. So that's, or whatever the case is, whatever they're there for. But most definitely, as you know, I I'm currently coaching um, an 11-year-old, and
Wow.
but it's not a weight training thing. You can't just dump weights on a kid, because they don't necessarily um and they'll never be able to handle those sore muscles the next day or whatever, or you know but food is what's really, really important when it comes to that, but we'll get into that another time. But it's just like but if let's say this boy was 14 or 15, then yes, more than welcome, please. I mean, they're allowed to train from 13 onwards at Virgin, or at a gym or whatever. So yes, let's go, let's do it. Then it's a whole different thing. So but as a teenager, it's never too um it's never a no. Like if it means getting healthy and getting fit, then yes. And I know I've coached people for sport as well, and teenagers for sports, and I think that's also been really, really fun. And yeah, you put them in weight section, man. That's where they get strong. And swimmers and hockey players and netball players and whatever it is, just put those weights on, man, and that's the secret to it. So no, I don't believe it's unhealthy for them. I believe it's really, really good. Um, but yeah, the small ones are a whole different story. You can't just dump a weights in them, and that just needs more nutrition than anything else. Um, but yeah, everything and everyone's different in its time. Things happen. So
That's so
Yeah,
true. And let's say, because I mean, this 11-year-old, I'm assuming that she's going to be spending like maybe a big part of her youth eventually, you know, getting coached by you to sort of reach whatever goal that she has. Do you think
yeah.
like once she gets to a certain age level where, you know, she's learned a lot about, you know, what's healthy, what's not, and she maybe even starts to, you know, desire to become a trainer because she's been trained by someone who, you know, is so proficient. Do you think that that's something that children can do? Like, let's say
Look,
they've
I
been coached for a couple of years and they kind of like you taught them so much, you know, they even understand, you know, protein synthesis and all of that stuff.
yeah. Um, Possibly. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I think it really is. You know, once you get the hang of anything for a long enough time, if it's something you're passionate about, then yes, and you can get into things and study up a bit more about it and do more of it. But yeah, like I say, I mean, kids are a whole different story, but if they're with me long enough, then but I must say, like I mean, I've coached like from Virgin Active. I mean, I had two youngsters with me. Youngsters, I mean teenagers, and I mean they were probably 14, 15 at that time, and they are now 17, 18. So it's been a few years, but it's not just about like making it a career but just the fact that these kids know now what to eat and how to train. Chris, it makes a whole different, like a whole different life for them, for someone who didn't have that foundation, because
Mm.
now Dian and Talita know how to train, and they know like um what to do, and it's a lifetime experience that now they have, like they can take throughout their lifetime, and maybe they don't necessarily make it a career, but just the fact that they have that foundation of
Yeah.
training and eating will help them throughout their entire life now. And that's why with my business with Sulit, I constantly tell that to, especially to clients who are new to me. I make it very, very clear to them that you're not just learning to eat now and to train now. And it's not just for 12 weeks with me. It's for your entire lifetime, because that's what it's all about. That we teach people how to eat and train specifically for their body type and their goals, and not just for now, for their entire life. So when they leave me, so let's say they've been with me for 12 weeks and they decide they're going to go on their own now, they've got 12 weeks worth of training, 12 weeks worth of eating, and they know how to maintain that throughout their entire life. So the chances of those people living longer and having a healthier, happier life is massive. Like that's the truth, just from learning the basics earlier on. And it's like that for everyone, not just for kids. I mean, it's like that for everyone. And I think, and of course it needs to be taught by the right person. And this is why I don't like the idea of and there's no offense to anyone with this, but specific eating with like cutting out this and cutting out that, and not doing this kind of exercise and not doing that kind of exercise. And whereas if you are balanced, your whole life will be balanced. But the thing with balance is that it just takes time. And most people are not willing to do that, right? Most people want a quick fix.
Mm.
But what I teach with Sulit is that I'm going to teach you how to lose weight and build muscle in a time frame, but also take what I give you and you can live your life with that, and that's what makes it so phenomenal. And I think that's what's missing nowadays, because people want that quick fix, and they want, these results that, yes, you might get these results in 4 weeks, but do you know how to maintain that? Do you know the secret to, like eating constantly like that? And, do you understand what I mean? And like maintaining that throughout your entire life? No. So what happens is they put that weight back on, because it is a quick thing and everyone wants that. That's not how it should be done, And the body takes such a shock with that because it's not getting all its nutrients. It's not, getting everything it needs to sustain itself. So people just end up giving up thinking this is not what's going to happen and I'm just going to put on weight. You're worth far more than that. You're worth far, far, far more than that. And I think that's what I love about my career now is that I get to give people the opportunity to um, to live a life and to find that all food groups will work for you, including that pizza now and again, and all types of training will be amazing for you. And let's do what's works just for you, and I don't want to limit people. Like that's what I'm passionate about, giving people a diverse, um, you know, program where it's like you can enjoy yourself and not feel that you're limited to things. And that's what I really want you know, to get across, that, like you can, live a fantastic life and eat amazing foods and lose the weight and build the muscle and still like eat and train nice and enjoy things. Like you don't have to cut anything. So yeah, it's really fun like that. And I love giving people that opportunity to learn.
Wow, that's really amazing. You see, that's what I mean when I say you're full of grace, because a lot of people like want to come through on some law, make the whole experience law based. And
Yeah.
I think your perspective is very fresh. And so your company is called Tulit.
Sulit, yeah. Sulit.
Oh, okay. So, um, if people want to like contact you and maybe get some training from you, like how can they reach you?
Okay, they can either email me, which is sorry, let me just get that right. Sulit.train@gmail.com. I have like 1,000 emails running through my brain, so I'm so sorry. Sulit.train@gmail.com. My number, though, if you want to WhatsApp me, is 072-325-9674. And those are the two ways to get hold of me if anyone would like to or is interested. So,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome, nice. That's so amazing. I'm so glad you have your own business. Through this, it's always good to be independent.
It's awesome. I love it. It's it's really been a rewarding career. I must say, I found my passion, and I've had to go through a lot to find it. But um, I must say, to change lives, you know, from one life to another has been absolutely remarkable. And to know that people's lives are changing and their bodies are changing without cutting off anything is what makes it so amazing to see. Like I'm not like depriving people from things, and they actually, sorry, my life's getting really bad because the sun the sun keeps going like
Yeah,
between the clouds.
it's
Um,
okay.
but yeah, I thoroughly enjoy life and being fit and helping others get to the same. But of course, sharing my story. So thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it's been great um, to chat about it, because as soon as someone says to me they want to talk about it and they want to hear about it, so of course I can't say everything because it's such a long story. But like it's really fun to talk about it and to get it out there, because I want people to know that it's nothing limits you. Like you really can achieve everything you put your mind to. And like I say, barriers are your breakthroughs. Like, it's not the waiting for life to give you $1 million from the sky, or like, that, angel to come bring you something, or whatever the case is, however people think of it. But it's, or that dream job, or whatever the case is. It's that bump in the road is your breakthrough. Like, what are you going to do at that time? And that is what the accident this is where it's taken me. And I'm so thankful that it did that, because to see people's lives change is the most rewarding thing I could ever ask for, and yeah, I'm very blessed to be doing this. So thank
That's
you.
great.
It's been great.
No, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad that you're so enthusiastic because I hadn't seen you or interacted with you in such a long time, and I was like, I don't know if she's even keen, and
Um,
you were super keen.
I was like, yes, definitely. And I love to talk, so it's fun.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm so happy. And um, for okay, so people can find you through email. Do you have a website?
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, not as yet, but if I do, then I'll pop that up at some point. Um, but Chris, I'm busy enough without a website, hey, and I'm happier.
you don't
I'm
need it.
happy.
Okay.
But never know. Maybe one day,
All right.
I'll make it happen. So,
Well,
um,
it's amazing to see that you don't need it. Like, like we're living in a high tech,
yeah, but you know what?
world.
Can I tell you why
Mm.
it works? Because as soon as someone's life changes, as soon as someone's body changes, and this is how I get most clients, that someone has seen someone else change. So um, so it's just from people's lives changing, people's bodies changing, and someone saying, "Hey, like, what happened?" And then I get another one. So it's more word of mouth than it is anything else. And like, just got to focus on each client, and then each client will come. And that's my main thing. That's where my focus is.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's great because that's basically the proof in the pudding. Like, if people are, actually spreading the word and they're actually seeing the word, because if someone sees somebody and like, hey, why are you so, you look so good, then that means that everything you're doing is not just theory. It's actually, you know it is
If the
evidence.
proof is like that's So,
Oh, so great. Yeah, Simone, you really inspired me. You really, I'm
oh, shit.
so um,
Long story. I mean, what's it been, like an hour and 5 minutes? I mean, it's been crazy long. But
yeah. It's so crazy. There's so much I still want to ask you, just about, certain programs, but also muscle building. And I was hoping, can we do another one like in the future?
yes, whenever you're ready, you must just say, and then we can.
I
So
think I think today it was good to like sort of just actually hear your story and and
yeah,
and and see what kind of transformation and just like the struggle that you've been through and how you're so positive about it. It's really a different mindset. I think you're a super unique individual. I'm so grateful to have you on the show, and I think everybody that's listening is also super touched by your message.
because I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
So thank you so much
That's
for
like
your time.
so.
No, I really appreciate everything you've done, and just the time that you've shared. Because you're a family lady, I don't want to take any more of your time. I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you, and Chris, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's always great talking about it and spreading this word. So it's been lekker, man. It's been
Okay.
awesome.
I look forward to part two.
Yes, we'll definitely do part two. Maybe every Friday. Let's chat about it. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Sweet.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, someone. Have a great weekend and
You too,
enjoy the
hey.
rest. Okay,
Okay,
cool.
bye.
Bye bye. See you. Guys, guys. Hey, hey. That was intense. That was intense. Um, that was oof, that's another banger. That's another banger for you guys. I'm so excited about what it is you guys are going to take away. Hey guys, you definitely got to contact Simone. If you have some issues with health or with your mental frame, or maybe even just physique, Simone's really the one. I mean, guys, she came out of a car accident, didn't even remember her family members, and now look at her. She's so deep in the flow, and she's so amazing. I would contact her now, not today. Contact her now. So, got the details. You know exactly how you can contact her. Email her, or send her a WhatsApp. And you know what? She's actually quite responsive. Even when she just sent me a message now. Thank you. That was so much fun. Thank you. Hey, come guys. I mean, she's a beautiful soul. You guys should definitely, get some coaching from her. Maybe I will get coaching from her too. I don't know. Let's see. Because I feel inspired, and I can't wait for the next one. So, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned. I hope you get in the gym or get outside in the park, see some nature, go for long walks, recover, have an ice cream, and not condemn yourself. Simone is deep in the flow, One day, hopefully, I'm gonna have her with my partner Jerry, and we can have a great session. Because, yeah, she's the one. So, guys, thank you for staying tuned. Enjoy the weekend wherever you are.